before we go, I want you to record. Oh, you're still recording? Oh,
Are you
cool.
still
All right. So, realistically, we were supposed to talk about me and Chris, right? We're talking about our testimonies, right? That we kind of went through just in life. Testimony being, Chris, do you want to kind of explain like the aspects of like testimony, basically, or?
Whatever you've done in your walk with Christ, even if you weren't walking with Him, even if you were moonwalking backwards, and He's like, "Where you going? Why are we? We're not playing Michael Jackson. There's no
Right.
Billie Jean in the background,
All
right? Even if you're doing a whole tumble and falling doing backwards, that's still your testimony. Because at some point in time, you got to start walking forward. And if you don't, then your portion in life is the grave. But
Yeah, you really, and also like just going off on that too, like your testimony ain't gonna stop ever, really. It's not stop until you die, really. It's you got a testimony until like you know really like need to. Like for instance, right? I was talking about Chris last night, and this is just my personal testimony. I'll be honest, this probably is the first time of me even remotely talking about my testimony ever, having said I have one. Bless you, by the way. Basically, I had experiences back in the past, right? I was in a dark past, really before I was ever in touch with God as I am now, which thank the Lord. I was in a relationship, you know, as someone is when they're, you know, pretty young, you know, they try to get into relationships for the aspect of, you know, being in it, you know, nothing really too like building, just being in a relationship, you know, really worldly thinking of it, you know, not like long lasting. And in this relationship, I had realized that, in this relationship that during the beginning of it, there were signs, right? Like, for instance, person completely into witchcraft, right? Which I didn't even know nor care nor think about at all deeply in that moment, right? But she, of course, like any 14-year-old boy or like 15-year-old boy would probably think she was pretty. She was Latina, unfortunately. So I just took the good with the bad and I just rolled with it, right? But during that process, it just was a lot more things up, like just coming down from the relationship. I got experience to dark forces, right? Or knowing about dark forces and stuff like that, secondhand experience wise at least. And something that is really prevalent that I can't express when you're on your walk with God, no matter if you're Catholic, no matter if you have any religion, no matter if anything like that, right? I think the first thing you gotta understand amongst anything in this world besides God is the way demons work, and also that they exist. Because a lot of people don't understand or think that demons or things like that don't exist. They don't think about it. They don't even worry about it. Nothing like that, right? But they do. They do. And it could be in any form. It could be in any time, shape, and it can show up in any kind of way, right?
they ugly.
They're
They
supremely...
hateful, they're spiteful, they ugly.
Supremely...
not dress.
Yeah, they're bums, basically. Demons,
bums.
they're the
They're
bummest.
bums.
They're the bummest
They
of the
some
bum.
scary bums, but they scary when you think they
They're
scary.
the definition of
And realistically,
bums.
too, we shouldn't even be afraid of that,
Yeah,
because
don't be
I
afraid
realized
of that.
something too.
Don't be afraid of that.
Off topic. Why would you be afraid of the created more than the creator? I only figured that out from a podcast. I saw it was a lady that was talking about her experiences of like, you know, seeing hell and seeing Biggie and stuff like that in hell, like that one. Yeah, now I watched that. But yeah, she was saying that. But either way, the point is that I feel like
that's actually
with that relationship in my I think as regarding my testimony, my ex is or an ex of mine is definitely a testament to that. Ex partner, she was able to see and through her experience of her being a part of some very dark ways, dark arts, just a lot of
And I would like to say to people who don't, sorry to cut them off, the people who don't understand, that's real. Like people, when they say witches, no, witches, voodoo, all that is real. That's a dark magic. It is said in the Bible that dark magic is a thing that exists. We don't deal with dark magic though, kids. So if you're dating a witch right now, stop dating her. Please leave her.
Or if you might not understand, like if it seems like, you know what, discernment, you know, that is a heavy thing. If you don't know what that is, it's basically the act of asking God so that way you have, you know, complete discernment, which is basically, you know, knowledge and like over every situation, you know, just that sixth sense of over every situation, but through God, you know, through the Holy Spirit. That's basically what discernment is, you know, so you could be able to see any like demons or any like dark just, you know, in a person, you know. So I should have been using mine during that time, but I was young and it was long distance, and I was, you know, that's another thing why technology just whole other thing in itself. But besides that, through that experience, I also went down a very dark way, depression, you know, warning, self-harm, and even suicidal thoughts.
We've
And
all been through that. I've been through the self-harm part, but I've had those type of thoughts.
and like during that experience, not a good time. But recently, and even just recently, as in like maybe the last like 5 or 4 years, I've recently just tried to let Jesus back into my life more, make him the absolute center. I make mistakes here and there, as most of us do, but honestly, man falls 7 times, get up the eighth. That happens, get up the ninth, but always, always, always ask God for forgiveness and try to be truthfully honest. And is it raining? What is that with water?
Oh no, that's
Okay, cool. But yeah, no. So honestly, yeah, I made a lot of mistakes. I still do, but I'm making more of an effort, and I'm thanking God every single day, trying to be more grateful and humble about it. So definitely, with my testimony being, might be weird, but everyone's is a different case. Honestly, his is different, his is different, or could be different. The man behind here that is gracefully holding cameras could be different. Everyone's testimony can be different, but a testimony is still testimony, and that's still going to get you closer with God each and every day. And
I was gonna say another thing too, that we all are not gonna be in the same walks of life. You feel me? Like for example, I stopped smoking, I stopped drinking, but they don't deal with the same lustful problems that I have, right? They're definitely better with it than I am. So everyone deals with their own thing. Feel me? I haven't been to where I've been to in life. They haven't been to where they've been into life because of just like flesh and blood, because of spiritual entities and principalities. But we're all making a lot of headway, right? And never try to compare your walk with Christ to other people trying to demean them or yourself, but understand that we all are in such different walks of life that if we converge, that you'll understand people on such a different level. You feel what I mean? Like I would have never understood like what he's gone. I probably couldn't go what he's gone through, but God knew that, and that's why I haven't been in there. But he's gone through what he's gone through, and even though some people might be going what he's gone through with like self harm, being in certain places, having to be in a. You mind me saying?
Oh yeah, no. Okay.
Yeah, you said.
Overall, like Chris was saying, when it comes to like your faith, it's a very hard thing to do, man. If I'm being honest, well, not hard to do, but like I was saying, when it comes to your faith, it can be a lot. If I'm being honest with you, because of the fact that you have like a lot of religious views in a family that's as big as mine. And you have some believers, you have some atheists, you have some people in between.
Catholics, because he's Catholic, but we're converting him. Am I joking? I don't really think I am.
Truth be told, I really just believe in God.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't believe in religion myself. Like,
Like when
having a strong foundation in God is the most important thing. And they're getting closer. Like he started reading his Bible. I've been so consistent.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This is just a personal thing. Kind of going off with Quentin, right? A little bit too within my life, like my personal Christian life. Reading the Bible, like throughout the time, like this is like the first time I'm like actually doing it, right? Like I'm like actually like genuinely reading it, like if it was like a book, like a novel, like something of literature, right? I'm like just on like the psychology, like side of me too as well, to really want to like dissect and know things. I was reading it like that, and just even reading it like that, I'm like, yo. And I was reading the King James version. If no one knows that is
that KGB.
that is like
that KGB. If you never grew up with the KGB,
that's like Shakespearean language, but in the Bible,
bro,
like
so
that is like
hard.
genuine, like that is like shall art like thou father, shall pass,
right? But
like that so
that's
difficult.
hard.
But I read it, and just reading that alone, I'm like, this is crazy. Actually,
but like see like that, like see when it comes to like stuff like religion, I don't think and this is my personal preference. He might say something different. He might say something different. When it comes to religion, to me, as long as it's safe and it's not doing harm to you or anyone, like in regards to your religious values and whatever, which has a higher power, is that if that gives you comfort, then that's a good thing. Allow that good thing to go into your life. You know what I mean? And then, I mean, brutally honest, I believe in God, like I said, but will I believe it to the level of how much these two believe it? No, but I
You will eventually.
I will.
You already showed the signs when you just did that yesterday, and when you were like,
That's
I'm not
more
gonna lie.
no that's more ingrained from Sunday school.
somewhat,
Sunday school.
we're not talking about something.
Okay, but all right, we're getting off track.
Whole other joke. Whole other joke. Whole other joke. Whole other joke.
But
Dang, okay.
basically the point I was saying was that if your faith, if it allows you to help you through a shitty day, then it helps you through a shitty day. If it's helping you through a great night and it'll make your night feel better, then keep doing that. But the principle of the fact is, don't let anyone tell you what your religious belief should be or whatever brings you serenity, because you can't really have somebody take away your serenity. Once you have somebody take away your serenity, then you lose everything.
If you stop believing in God because someone told you to, you can't believe in God.
Right. You believed in God. And this is somebody like who multiple times has questioned his faith. Like, I've actually asked myself, is there a God? But at the same time, I've also known that, I mean, God brought me to these people for a reason. And then this isn't me like,
Also, you don't have to feel like you're gonna offend anybody.
no, I know that. I'm
Like,
just
I
trying
mean,
to
like in a
look for the
sense,
right
like
words.
in like a positive sense, you don't feel like you have to, because like honestly, this is a very interesting, like, just on two different like sides of the spectrum, like it's just like the way you're thinking.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. Like,
Yeah.
If I'm being so honest with you, just real quick, you might have to make this a movie,
Yeah, you
or
did
add this into some kind of like journey, like
or
thing.
compilation.
or just like a, I don't know, a life of like college, like system.
Oh yeah, a year in year sophomore.
Oh, you're doing it by. Why you
Oh.
siphoning? I'm not gonna lie, bro. Why you siphoning?
Every milestone is gonna be a whole movie of like the greatest moments of that milestone. Like once I reach a million, it's gonna be great. You have a DM movie my best moment.
I feel that, but like, why you stifling, bro? Like, I know you got it in you to
I
do it real
not
quick.
Right now, though. I can't drop right now. You gotta drop for audience. You gotta drop for bang.
I feel like
You can't drop it into a little puddle. You gotta drop it into those.
fair, but you know, it's some of the biggest pieces started from something like that seemed like their best work, and it got like great reception.
That is
What
true.
God calls it?
Like, think about this: person who wrote Mickey Mouse, a mouse, gloves, yellow boots, red, bottoms, and boom, show that. They said perfect. Look what it is like today. You could reach the most just random thing at the random time, and someone could notice that, and then you never know.
It depends.
You know?
If what God tells you to do. If God tells you to make a movie,
That's fair.
If He does it, He tells you to wait.
Be patient. Be still.
I've been journaling for so many. I've been journaling for like
Journaling is very helpful.
It's very
journaling
helpful.
my walk with God for so long, and I'm almost done with the entire book, right? If we look how much I wrote. This is how much pages are left of the book.
Bro, when did you get that?
August 8th.
It is September 18th.
Yes. I've had this since August
Wow,
8th.
that is crazy. Wait, let me see. Yeah, August
4th, actually.
Okay, August 4th, and then okay, wow, that is.
And that's just me like changing. You know what's funny? I started off just vlogging or like journaling my day, and then it has turned into like me like talking. I stopped like needing to vlog my day because I already thank God and I'm grateful for the things that happen in my life, the small and the big, right? And then it even transformed to the point in time for myself where I would now like journal when I'm reading the Bible. Like I'd like to do like homework. You know, you read something, you're drawing down notes, how they tell you to annotate in the book, right? I started doing that with God. I used to do a thing was like each like major thing that I read from like a chapter. I'll do that. Or like I'll do Bible study for like a random verse of the day. And now I'm at a point in time where I damn near like read and describe and decipher every single paragraph of a chapter. It took me like 2 days to finish one chapter of Matthew. Matthew's like 45 or 50 chapters long. And it took me like 2 or 3 days.
45 or 50.
Bro, I went through you know what's so crazy? I started off with reading like 2 years ago. I started off with reading a verse a day. A verse a day of Genesis.
You just start off by like one verse,
Yes, just a verse, not even
A day.
chapter, not even nothing, just a verse.
like a sentence a day.
Yeah. And then I've changed so much in my walk where I used to listen to it on my way home, on my way to when I was brushing my teeth. I used to listen to it, and I've changed so much that I take the point where it's like I have to decipher it little by little. I gotta break it down by piece, find the exact meaning of what exactly I'm reading, and then when I break it down piece by piece, as a whole with context, it gives a whole different revelation and meaning than if you take it piece by piece. So I have the meaning of it as a whole and the meaning of it as context.
You
So
know something else I noticed about that too? You know how like when people like Quentin, realistically, you know how sometimes if like say Chris or me were to tell you like say it's something like look what God can do, and then something just randomly is like there that it'll like just be like, yeah, look at what God did, right? I recently like just started thinking about like getting into verses like you were saying. So what I would do is I would look it up on Google. At least I would be like, all right, Bible verses of the day, just something small like of the day. I'll look at it, it'll say something, and now I'm like, okay, what does that mean? And then when I look at the meaning,
Hello again.
bro, it's so crazy that what. But it's so crazy that like that meant so much to me.
Right. To be brutally honest, like, I believe in God. And I do believe that there is a God. Like once we leave this place, there is another place where you will be weighed in your actions. I do believe in that. But the thing is, for me, I'm a believer of faith. But at the same time, I don't like when faith is dedicated to one sole thing. Now, what I'm saying is, can God be a contributing factor? Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's your faith. So, or not your faith, but your actions that determine it. Realistically, look at it like this: when somebody brings up the fact of you, would be a good example. Let's say, right, your actions are driven by God, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so his actions are more centered in religion. I'll pray, yeah. Will I do it as much? No, but that's okay. But at the same time, though, when I ask for God for guidance and stuff like that, I don't solely. I say, okay, I trust God enough to make this happen. But there's also a part of me that's saying you also have to make this happen on your own, because as good as it is to have a figure, and it is, sometimes you gotta make your own luck. And I think that's really like a lot of life, making your own luck, not waiting for something.
No, you good.
Like, truth be told, I'm trying to think. I think that photography thing would be a good example.
Gotta go?
Yeah, no,
Okay.
no, that's why I looked at you.
No. So all I'm trying to say is like, well, I understand what you're coming from, and since you're at a different place in your walk with God, you see things as more or less of is detached from God, right? Like your actions are detached from God, but in truth, that's not detached. That's like part of God Himself. For me, God tells us specifically, like it said in the Bible, right? Obviously, faith is important. You need to have faith in God, right? But it also says you don't get into heaven based on your works alone. It says that right there. You don't get into heaven based on your works alone, but faith without works is dead. So it doesn't matter how much you believe in God. If you don't do anything at all, then you ain't gonna get nowhere. You have no faith in Him. If you have a business, right? We have a photography business, and we did absolutely nothing to contribute to our photography business, and just told God, "Hey, take the wheel." God's was like, "But where the car at?"
It'd be DOA. We'd have nothing.
We'd had nothing.
I wouldn't be sponsoring if we didn't have enough attention.
If this consecration thing would have never been into the places where it's already at, and it's going to get into higher places, but would have never been in the places that it is currently if I never picked up the camera, if I never bought the equipment, if I never decided to have friends around me that believe in God and record that, and it's an accident, be brave enough to record it in public. We're in public, but we're on a college campus. I lost the feeling of nervousness, of anxiety. That feeling lost me a while ago, and I didn't even know when it happened, but it did.
I know.
That's what I'm saying.
Lost like I think around the time I like started locking in with work, just somewhere at, like when I was about to give up, and he was there, like when I was in my house, and we would do hangouts where we would just just do a little smoke and chill, and just talk, He was there when like times got really tough, and I was like on my last legs, thinking like, yeah, I'm done. I'm like out, He was there. And then there's just like a moment that like I guess when I do pray, now that I'm thinking about it, or when I just receive something from the day, from God, you know, like a verse a day or something like that, just something as small as that, or just something, I just discern that into what it could be from Him, you know, and little by little, the more I do, I just realize, oh, that is done by that is done by a particular force. That is literally done by a particular specific
Yeah.
object. You know, it's like in this state in time right now. That is someone right there, but I can't see it. But I just know that's someone right there. You know, and that's